concern considering this is the most banged up the Golden State Warriors have been throughout their impressive 5-year run to the NBA Finals, but they're going to give it a go. Game 3 of the NBA Finals, T-minus 3 hours from tip-off on ABC, and the health of this team, definitely the biggest storyline coming in. Let's start with 5-time All-Star Klay Thompson. His status for tonight's Game 3 still officially questionable 3 days after leaving the fourth quarter of Game 2 with that strained hamstring. Remember, Klay has never missed a postseason game, playing in all 120 playoff games in his career. That is the third longest streak among active players, trailing only Tony Parker and LeBron James. But developing story here on SportsCenter. Take a look at this tweet just posted a few minutes ago by our Adrian Wojnarowski and Ramona Shelburne. Here's what it is. Golden State officials prefer Klay Thompson sit out Game 3 to protect his sore hamstring for the rest of the NBA Finals. But Thompson has continued to lobby them on playing tonight. Decision looms prior to tip-off. So yes, that is your biggest question mark coming in, and whether or not he goes will certainly be a huge factor in the outcome of this game. Here is why. This guy does everything. He covers nearly 3 miles per game, second in the NBA, and that's because he works so hard to get open for those three-point shots. This postseason alone, Klay has used over 200 more off-ball screens than anybody else in the league. That says something. Here's the thing, no doubt all of that running and changing direction takes its toll, but it's worth it because he covers over 100 feet on the floor per made 3. That is the most of any player this postseason as well. And his impact goes beyond just making shots. His activity is so important because all his action frees up other teammates. On that play, Klay comes around a screen from Boogie and both Danny Green, so Ibaka blitz Klay, attracting multiple defenders. That leaves a ton of space for DeMarcus, as you saw. This guy does it all. SportsCenter on the road, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. We welcome you back to the Bay Area. Once again, the 5th straight NBA Finals here. What a beautiful day. 72 degrees and perfect as you take a look at the Golden Gate Bridge and Oracle Arena in its 47th and final year as the home of the Golden State Warriors. And wouldn't they love to end the tenure at Oracle with another championship? It would be, of course, their 4th in the last 5 seasons. We welcome in Brian Windhorst, who has been here throughout this run by the Warriors as well. And Brian, again, the storyline, these injuries. We just saw the tweet from Woj and Ramona. What are you hearing about Klay?
Well, I've been told that the Warriors have prepared 2 game plans and 2 starting lineups, one with Klay Thompson, one without. Look for Alfonso McKinney to be the possible starting forward if Klay doesn't play. He is going to come out here and warm up in a short time. And it's ultimately going to be up to the training staff to make the decision. But both teams, the Raptors also have a double game plan in preparation for clamping down on Steph Curry, shoveling the ball and forcing it to the guy who killed them on the open shot, Andre Iguodala and Draymond Green. Yep. Both teams going to be watching both teams with Plan A and Plan B. And
you were saying yesterday that the training staff has been working miracles round the clock for everybody, but in particular, Klay Thompson.
Yeah, and they're going to have to do extra work to get Iguodala ready to play, and extra work to do DeMarcus Cousins ready to play. And an important factor here, Sage, this is the only time in this series where there is only 1 day off in between games. So that is a factor about worrying about recovery for Klay Thompson. Not just thinking about tonight, but thinking about Friday as well.
Friday, Game 4, of course. So here's the thing. You'd think the Raptors would be maybe even licking their chops with all the Warriors' injuries, but they've got a few issues of their own to deal with. And you say there's 2 guys in particular who really need to step up for Toronto.
Right. Klay, definitely Klay is a huge factor here. But Kyle Lowry, only shooting 30% in this series. He has got to play better, got to play smarter. But the guy who is going to be a big part of the game plan tonight, Marc Gasol. Gasol was outplayed by DeMarcus Cousins in Game 2. Wasn't necessarily ready for that matchup. Got bullied around. Without Klay Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins is going to be relied on in that Golden State offense. Marc Gasol, former Defensive Player of the Year, got to slow him down, got to play better. Sage, it's strength on strength. All-time great defensive big against one of the league's great offensive bigs in a vitally important game. This is an opportunity for somebody on the Warriors to be a hero. DeMarcus is there. They need Marc Gasol to stop him.
And you think about what DeMarcus did from Game 1 to Game 2. Really didn't score Game 1, 8 minutes to the double-double in his first NBA Finals game ever. Boogie Cousins ready for this moment. You talk about pivotal, by the way, Game 3. The winner of Game 3 goes on to win the NBA Finals 81% of the time. So much on the line here as we count down to tip-off of Game 3. Brian Windhorst, thank you, sir, for that one. In the meantime, still much more to come here. Rocket Mortgage, presented by Quicken Loans once again. As you take a look here, the talk over the last few days has been all about that box-and-one defense that the Raptors used on Steph in Game 2. How much will we see it tonight? Doris Berg tells us just that when we come back, Kevin.
Sage, the other big story today, Odell speaks. Browns mandatory minicamp continuing, all eyes